Yes, well, there's a couple of emails that suggest that he did actually authorise for the charity known as Nowzad to airlift their cats and dogs out of Afghanistan ahead of all the people who helped us. And there are several clear issues with this.
It was a full plane load?
It was a full plane load of cats and dogs. Now, even if you go with the most kind of bizarre thought of, oh, well, at least we can rehome them here, they don't speak English. They are Afghanistan cats and dogs. So, I mean, my friend adopted a Portuguese dog, and she said it doesn't understand. She's had to learn Portuguese to sort of persuade the dog to do things.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
There's also the issue of disease. I think a number of them were like mangy, and I think they might have had to be put down anyway, which makes the whole thing a bit redundant.
It's horrible. It's horrible that they've shipped this plane full of potentially mangy animals ahead of all the people who helped us. And there is a question.
But the big question is, was Boris involved, or was Carrie involved?
Yeah. Now, you see, sometimes a woman exerting a little bit of influence can be a good thing. Like Jerry Hall married Rupert Murdoch. And until Jerry Hall married Rupert Murdoch, I noticed that Sky News didn't care about the planet at all. As soon as they got married, eco-warrior Jerry Hall and Rupert Murdoch, suddenly it was all save the oceans. So I wonder whether Carrie managed to have a word in his ear, which must have been a loud word considering the wallpaper in that building, and she managed to persuade him to get the animals over, which is just, I can't even begin.
Well, it's very credible, because one of those emails came from Zach Goldsmith's office, and I think she might have had a bit of, the rumour is there's a bit of previous with her and Zach. He's obviously keen on animals and everything. And the email said the PM has just authorised their staff and animals to be evacuated. So that was in the email. But it wasn't an email from the PM, but it was an email on the day reporting that the PM had authorised it. It might have been mendacious, it might have been erroneous, but the email was there.
It may have been Carrie logging into his email account going, save the cats and the dogs, signed Boris, send.
Yes.
View on this?
Well, yeah, pretty much what we said. I mean, the big question is, did he give priority to the dogs over the Afghan workers? He said he didn't. I hear he's not always the most trustworthy chap. Of course, Carrie is obsessed with dogs, as we found out back in March 2020 when they were all wondering what to do about COVID, and she was worrying about that dog story coming out in the press when Dominic Cummings said she went absolutely crackers about her dog. So he does have previous of prioritising dogs, and also he did try to call himself the Big Dog recently. Remember Operation Save Big Dog?
I thought that was Digby.
So that might be it. So maybe he did prioritise the dogs. But Boris instead, I noticed, wanted to focus on the fact they evacuated 15,000 people, which is, that is an achievement. So, maybe this dog story is a bit blown out of proportion.
I think it might be a little bit. The Guardian is running it. They can't stand Boris. The Independent's running it. They've both got an agenda. The second email actually said that the staff, not the animals, had been evacuated. So I don't know. I wonder if it's a slight. They're desperate to punch a man, get him while he's down, and get rid of him.
Yes, I think there's an element of that
going on.